Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cellular Healing TV. I'm Ashley Smith. You may have noticed the ketogenic lifestyle or the keto diet has been everywhere lately. And in this episode, we are going to discuss how to achieve a sustainable ketogenic lifestyle that actually gets results. We have Keto Lifestyle Coach Kate Jaramillo on today, and she goes into detail about focusing your diet around healthy fats. She and Dr. Pompa share their top 10 keto-friendly foods. And they also discuss how working through toxicity is imperative to find success with keto, a topic we know all too well here on CHTV. You'll also hear about how there is not a one-size-fits-all approach to keto, and how to break through those stubborn weight loss plateaus even when you're doing everything right. But before we get started, let me tell you a little bit more about Kate. Kate Jaramillo is a ketogenic living expert, wellness mentor, and host of the Straight Up Wellness podcast. Kate is leading the way in the ketogenic community as the creator of the Ketogenic Living Coach certification program. Kate wholeheartedly believes in the power of a ketogenic lifestyle to burn fat, clear brain fog, conquer sugar addiction, and treat, prevent, and cure chronic and life-threatening disease. Her online programs and in-person trainings help make this lifestyle and business opportunity accessible to busy people like you. You're going to love her as much as we do, I promise. And please check out our show notes for the link to her ketogenic lifestyle program that you too can take part in. This is a fun, informative episode, so let's get started. This is Cellular Healing TV.
Welcome to Cellular Healing TV. And this is going to be an exciting one that people have been waiting for because we get questions almost every day about ketosis. So you're a ketogenic living certified coach. What the heck is that, and how did you get involved so deeply in ketosis, which you are?
Well, thank you so much for having me, Dr. Pompa. I'm so excited to be here today. So the Ketogenic Living Certified Coach means that I live a fat-fueled lifestyle and I help others do the same thing. I've been in fitness and nutrition for about a decade, teaching group fitness classes, and everyone was kind of always asking me, what do I do for nutrition? What should I eat before my workout? What should I eat for the rest of the day? And at the time, I really subscribed to what most of us did, which was 6 small meals a day, low in fat, low in calories, and never really getting cut, never feeling great energy throughout the day. Suffering, a few years later from mom brain, from dealing with, being a mom to my kids.
Right.
And I wanted to go deeper, but I knew I could feel better. I just didn't know how. And then I studied under Dr. Josh Axe, who I know is, you brought him up, which is so exciting. So I studied under him in the Institute of Nutritional Leadership, and he introduced me to the ketogenic way of eating. And it sounded so crazy because it was the opposite of how I ever was taught or thought to eat and live. But I became obsessed with studying it. And the more I researched and the more I read, I just realized that this makes sense. I understood that as babies, we're born in a state of ketosis, and that we remain that way until we're given formula or solid foods. I mean, breast milk is made up almost entirely of fat. So,
Saturated fats.
Yeah, yes. So what a natural way for us to eat and live. And what really caught my attention was that Dr. Axe mentioned that this is the protocol that he uses with clients who need to lose a significant amount of weight. At the time, I was coaching some clients who, no matter how far down they cut their calories, which that's another topic, but no matter how far down they cut their calories or were working out, they could not lose any more weight. Yeah. So I just approached them and asked if they would be willing to join me on this journey and what that could look like for them. 9 women said yes. And about 8 weeks later, the average amount of weight that these women lost was like 20 pounds. It was amazing. And for me, it was never really about weight loss. Between maybe genetics and being active, I didn't really struggle with weight, but I was struggling with energy, with mental clarity, and with a mean sugar addiction.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, ketosis is one of the first places I go with clients. Number one, fat in ketones burn much cleaner. So it's a way of down regulating cellular inflammation very quickly. And I know that, I purposely move in and out of the state. And the moment I move in ketosis, the first thing that I know when I'm in is my brain clarity. I mean, literally, I can remember I can remember sentences on pages and, verbatim, which, I can't do when I'm not in ketosis. So there's this like major brain turn on that people experience. And I know in this show, I really want you to give people, solid advice as a keto coach, right? Like, this is how you do it. I interviewed my daughter on my radio show this morning, Health Hunters Radio, and she is in college, senior year. She's going to be 22 years old. She battles with people all the time because they just don't get it. They watch the amount of fat she's eating and they cringe and they think she's going to get fat and that's make you fat and fat's bad for you. And you also mentioned the calorie thing. The college kids today are still buying into low calorie and low fat. I mean, it's amazing the science we've broken through. I mean, how do you battle that? I mean, are you battling that with clients still? I can't believe that this is still out there.
Every single day. In fact, when I'm working with my clients, we spend
6 meals a day. You brought that up too. So
oh my gosh, yeah.
Myths right now that maybe we should touch on a little bit before we move on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, eating constantly, we were told a while ago that you need to constantly fuel your body. Otherwise, it kind of like cannibal. Oh yeah. I mean, otherwise it's like cannibalizing itself, it's just eating away all your energy. Well, I mean, if you were eating all of those carbs all the time, then your body's burning through them so fast because carbs burn so fast. Yeah. So of course you're hungry. And of course, when you're hungry when you're tired, your body is asking for fuel. It's like, okay, well, if you're going to stay awake, then, I mean, you're going to have to feed me something. So, then you want to eat. So it's kind of natural to eat those 6 small meals per day. But then when you're eating meals that are led with healthy fats, whole food-based healthy fats like avocados, everything coconut, high quality proteins, fatty cuts of protein. When your meals are led with those types of food, you are hungry much less frequently because fat burns slowly. So your body is using that for fuel. So it's going to naturally prolong your periods of eating, which then can lead us into intermittent fasting, which is another great tool to just live by.
I mean, before you lose the thing, because many people are going, I just heard this literally in a client yesterday. I told her, just for right now, no snacks, because she was eating probably 6, 7, 8 times a day, right? And she basically was like, I don't know if I can do that, right? And many people watching this right now or listening to this would say the same thing. But you started on number one, when you start increasing your fat, you'll make it longer. But number two, there's a major hormone shift that goes on, right? That your body starts burning its own fat. So when you're not eating, it's utilizing its own fat, and therefore you're not hungry all the time. But, talk about that shift a little bit, because, encourage people, because there is a shift that goes.
When it's not in a carbohydrates, right? So if that's what your body is using for fuel, we just said glucose burns so fast. So you will, anytime you consume that amount of carbohydrate or something like in that form, sugar, carbohydrates, what's going to happen to your body is it's going to produce the hormone insulin, and it's going to produce as much as it needs to in order to balance out your blood. Your blood sugar starts to go down and your energy starts to go down and your body is tired. So it's asking for more fuel. So you get hungry and you have to snack again. Yeah. But when you're in a state of ketosis, this means that we have switched your primary fuel source from a glucose back to, because remember, we're born in a state of ketosis, back to fat.
Right.
So we are eating dietary fat, and then our liver is producing these little ketone bodies for energy. And that's where you feel this sustained energy, that mental clarity that you just talked about. And it stays that way because fat is burning slowly, and then the ketone bodies are giving us that extra energy.
Yeah.
So sometimes you end up skipping a meal and you're like, wait, I guess I should eat now. You actually become more intuitive about your body. So you've made this metabolic shift from being a sugar burner to a fat burner.
Sure.
And it's truly amazing.
So
and then you more intuitive.
As a coach, how do you help them during that time? Because let's face it, it takes 2 to 4 weeks for people to become fat adapted or keto adapted, as you just said, right? That switching from sugar burner to fat burner, we call that fat adaptation. So people are going to struggle. What do you do as a coach to get them through that?
The first thing that I have people do is literally eat real food. Eat real food. Just instead of buying all of these processed products that are now marketed to the low carb community as like X amount of net carbs, but it's mostly like sugar, alcohols and stuff. I really just help them start with eating real food. All right, what do we want to eat here for breakfast? Are you hungry in the morning when you wake up? Okay, then let's figure out something that we can have for breakfast that's fast and easy for you. I love eggs. I love avocados. Those are 2 great sources of fat that are easy to use, easy to go on the run. And they're both low in carbohydrates and high in healthy fats. So, and then I'll have them drinking a lot of water throughout the day, because that's something else that they kind of need to learn. Are they hungry or are they thirsty? So they're drinking water throughout the day. When they're hungry again, we're looking at another meal that is led with healthy fats. My advice to clients is, eating real foods and leading with healthy fats, preferably high quality fatty animal protein, because I feel like that is just a great source of fat for us, and it helps sustain our hunger longer. When I'm designing like a meal for a client, I tell them that their plate should look like, a nice serving, about 3 to 4 ounces of healthy, high quality animal-based protein, a side of low carb vegetables, cucumbers, celery, broccoli, cauliflower, something like that. And those vegetables should have some healthy fat on top. Maybe it's guacamole, maybe it is some, avocado and MCT oil, or maybe it's some grass-fed butter, ghee, or coconut oil. It's a really easy way to just lead, because on that plate then we have your proteins, we have your carbohydrates in the form of vegetables that are high in fiber, so that's also going to help with your blood sugar levels, and we have your healthy fats, and your healthy fats bind to the nutrients that are in your foods and help carry them through the rest of your body, so you're full and you're absorbing nutrients. It's really simple.
Yeah, I love that. And you kind of already got into, let's talk, before we're going to get in, we are going here. We're going to talk about people who don't get into ketosis very easy and people who don't lose weight in ketosis. We're getting there, so hang on, folks. But I want to keep it keto 101 because people need this. So I've already heard you say a few of your favorites and mine, keto foods. I get this question all the time, and it seems so basic to me, but it's really not. Okay, give me your favorite keto foods. And I put you on the spot here, but let's try to name 10 of our favorite keto foods. And, I think we know the foods to stay away from, but maybe there's some surprises there that you could mention. But let's give the 10, foods. And then, I think you gave them an idea of what these meals look like. I think you just did a really good job with that. But let's talk about the 10 favorites.
Sure. So my favorites are, I love eggs. I love pastured, cage-free eggs. Oh, I love eggs. They're so good. Avocado. So just an avocado or avocado oil mayonnaise. You have to really watch though to make sure that it's just avocado oil, not canola oil in there.
People are like, well, what the heck do you do with an avocado, right? I mean, eggs, that's self-explanatory, but Oh, and by the way, my daughter this morning said one of her favorite things is eggs, and she puts avocado and hot sauce on her eggs, right? So
love that. I love that.
She uses a real grass-fed cheese in her eggs. So fat, and more fat, multiple different sources. So, okay, we did hit the egg idea. Avocados. I love putting mustard in my avocado. I got that from my son.
Wow. I've never tried that. Yeah. That sounds amazing.
I like a little bit of hot sauce in there. And sometimes I just take to get another fat. I'll take some olive oil and just put it in my avocado. Any avocado ideas for you? Of course, guacamole is another one. But
yes. I'll mash it up sometimes with a little bit of MCT oil. So that's another great healthy fat.
Do that one.
Love that one. And sometimes I'll also, if I want something a little bit crunchy, I'll add some hemp hearts over top, which are great for fat and for protein. Love them.
Do that. I got to write this down. I'm going to take notes now. So go ahead.
Yeah. So hemp seeds are one of my favorite things, hemp hearts. Yes. They're great for protein. So if we have some vegetarian or vegan listeners out there that are interested in upping their healthy fats, that's a really great source of fat and protein. I really like those. I love grass-fed beef. I actually buy mine at Costco, organic grass-fed beef. And it's amazing. We do so much with it. I mean, we're making burgers, or I'm making, like a pasta with like zoodles. And my kids love that too. So that's really great for us. I love pork shoulder. So that's a great, fatty cut of meat. It's hard to find a really high quality pork shoulder. So that's kind of the only thing that you got to look out for a little bit there.
Pigs can be raised dirty, but they're doing such a different job, today. We have some really good resources around here, but if you get people that do grass-fed, typically will raise their pork very clean. Now, again, they don't just pigs kind of eat everything, but they're raised clean.
Yeah. And I mean, pork shoulder, I feel like is delicious, and we make it in a million different ways. Carnitas, like all kinds of things. And of course, chicken thighs. I love getting a crispy skin on my chicken thighs. Oh my gosh, that's like one of my favorite things in the world. In fact, sometimes we'll pull the skin off of the thigh, and then we'll just kind of fry it up lightly to get it really crispy, drain it a little bit on some paper towels.
You fried it.
What's on a pan? It's amazing. And then we'll dip it in that MCT guacamole, maybe with some hot sauce. So good. Yeah. So good.
First of all, we just threw MCT out there. I promise you, people are like, what? What is that? So tell them what MCT oil is, because that helps you burn fat and helps you become a fat burner. So tell them what that is.
So MCT oil, medium chain triglycerides. So it's the fat that you find in like coconut oil, but MCT oil has the lauric acid drawn out, which makes it a little bit of a healthier fat. It easily crosses that blood-brain barrier. So you had just mentioned helping us get into ketosis faster. This is one of those healthy fats that crosses that blood-brain barrier quickly, increases our ketone production, and just gives us lots of energy. And generally, MCT oil is tasteless, and it doesn't harden really like coconut oil does. So if you wanted to make a cold smoothie, that's a great fat to add in there.
Yeah. Okay, so just in review, we have cage-free eggs, one of my favorites. Avocados, we gave you tips on even how to use them. Hemp hearts, which are great. I think hemp hearts are amazing. And you mentioned putting them on the avocados, which I thought was brilliant. Grass-fed beef, I love it. Lamb is one of my favorites too. For me, pork shoulder, chicken thighs. Okay, that's 6. You have 4 more.
Okay, coconut cream. My favorite. It is. You can make your own coconut cream if you get a can of coconut milk, full fat coconut milk, and you just put it in the refrigerator like overnight, because the water and the cream will separate, and it's like a smooth, creamy treat. And I'm dairy free. I can't tolerate it. except for grass-fed butter, which is another one. But I can't really tolerate dairy. So if a recipe is calling for sour cream, what I'll do is I use that coconut cream and I mix in a little bit of lemon juice. So I get that little bit of a sour taste, and then I use that as my substitute in recipes that are calling for sour cream.
So wait, coconut cream. And can you buy coconut cream in the store? Yeah.
You can. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A little lemon juice. And what else did you say? I was taking notes.
Oh, I use that just as a replacement for sour cream.
Okay. Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you're right. People that have dairy allergies do not to butter. In grass-fed butter, one of your favorite things, I added it to the list. So we're almost ghee is one of mine, actually. Which
I was just going to say that.
Yeah. And again, they don't have the proteins that dairy has that some people respond to. And there's no lactose either if you respond to that. So, okay. So 6, 7, 8, 2 more. Because you did butter was one. I added.
Yes. And ghee is actually one of mine as well. I love the rich flavor. Yeah. I mean, that is truly one of the most like unctuous fats. I love frying an egg in ghee. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's really good brown, by the way.
I like the grass-fed ghee. They sell it in most health food stores, and it has the sea salt in it. I take it off the spoon. I do. I take it off. I eat it off the spoon.
Oh, me too.
That's for big fat eaters like
yeah.
Okay, so, all right, 9, one more.
Macadamia nuts. Roasted, salted macadamia nuts. I mean, they are such a great, they're such a great food or snack for me. Luckily, my kids are not in a nut-free school. So when I'm packing their school lunches, that's always something that I include in their lunches. They love it. And I love being able to pack that for them.
You know, one of my favorite nuts, we speak at these keto things, and the peely nuts. Yeah. They are the fattiest nut out there, and they taste like butter. Gosh, I mean, they're not cheap. But I'll tell you, if you want to treat yourself, I think we carry them on Rev Health. I don't know if we do anymore or not, because I don't know if people are buying them because they didn't know what much of a fatty treat these things were, and they're super loaded with nutrients. So I like walnuts too. I like walnuts. Pecans is another really high fat good nut. So nuts things, and I'll say the nut butters. I'm gonna go down to treats now. I want you to give them the treats, and I'm gonna throw a few of mine in. I love nut butters.
Me too.
I like walnut butter. That's a treat for me. So almond butter, I think most people like, and I go raw on those things.
Me too. Same here. Yep. Nut butters are some of my favorites. Coconut butter, which is also sold as coconut manna. Yeah. That is one of my favorites. Just like a scoop of that. Oh my goodness. It's so good. Yeah. That's definitely a treat for me.
And then here's one, my treat. This is simple. I can eat dairy. I take real raw cream. And you can even get the non-raw, but it's still 100% grass-fed at Whole Foods and most health food stores. And you whip it up, and now it's zero carbohydrates, all fat. And then I add a little stevia and some blueberries.
Ooh, wow!
I mean, you can put it on anything, but I eat it with a spoon, and I love that. So, anyways, there's one of my favorite treats. Go ahead, keep treating them.
Well, I actually really like just a square of dark chocolate. Again, I'm from Hershey, Pennsylvania, so
I agree.
It's kind of in my blood. But I just love a square of dark chocolate, and to spread a little bit of ghee on top of that dark chocolate. You can, I'm not sure what the company name is, but they make a vanilla bean ghee. Oh my gosh! Yeah, like a little bit of that.
Same company that I said makes the sea salt. They make the vanilla bean.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. That's definitely.
And I love that idea. So if you took my thing with the whipped up fat with the stevia, right? You added the chocolate chunks to that, forget about it, man. I mean, it's like, and by the way, folks, these are not treats that like you broke your diet. These actually are helping you. Do you understand? These are the fats that we're talking about. They all have quality fats. So these are treats that actually are good for you. But the fat bombs that people make, we have recipes on our website. Matter of fact, do you have resources that people can pick up some of these things?
I sure do. Yes. On my website, which is ketogenicliving101.com, there are several guides there that you can download that have menus, meal plans, and recipes in there.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
there's some fat bombs in there.
Yeah, see, fat bombs. Yeah, I love them. Gosh, I just had them made for me. This gal who cooks, she cooked for our party, and she made
Mm-hmm.
them with almond butter and peanut butter with the chocolate over them. And oh my gosh, people couldn't believe that these were healthy, and of course they went fast. Let's talk oils, because
Yeah.
we talked a little bit about ghee.
Mm-hmm.
We both would use ghee to fry things in, eat off the spoon.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people make good fats bad because certain fats aren't good for heating.
Right.
So we talked a little bit about frying something. I personally love almond oil, and
Mm-hmm.
avocado oil is another one, but almond oil is cheaper. But these fats take heat. Are there some ones that you love?
I use macadamia nut oil when I'm roasting radishes. I mean, it's amazing. It gets that like buttery quality. And I do use avocado oil over a little bit of a lower heat. Unfortunately, I see a lot of people roasting things with olive oil, and that's a great fat that we're making bad because it's got a lower smoke point. And they're roasting them at like, 400 or something like that. And it's just like all taking off. Tallow is actually a really good fat to cook with. And like a duck fat, that's got a really high smoke point as well. So those are really great to stovetop cook with and fry in.
Yeah, so almond oil takes it. It's inexpensive. Avocado oil can take heat, a little more expensive. Let's see, grape seed oil can take some heat. As you mentioned, the tallow is great. Coconut oil, it depends on the coconut oil. I wouldn't fry in it, and here's a misnomer. The refined oils actually take heat better than the better oil, because when they refine it, they actually filter out a lot of the things that are actually really healthy, but it's heat. So at least you don't make a good fat bad. So when you're in your store, if you see refined grapeseed oil, it will actually take heat better. Refined coconut oil will actually take heat better. Not necessarily as good for you, but it'll take the heat. So there's just a little tip for us.
Yeah, and it doesn't have as much of a coconut taste if you're not a fan of coconut.
Exactly, right, and it will take the heat more. All right, so we promised them this. You're a keto coach. I'm following the keto diet, and Keto 101. If you're measuring, matter of fact, folks, go to get G-E-T, keto, K-E-T-O, mojo, M-O-J-O.com. Getketomojo.com. You can get a keto meter. That's the one I have. That measures your ketones and your glucose, which I like. And you want to be above 0.5, and then you're in what we call nutritional ketosis. Okay, I'm not getting in ketosis, and I'm doing everything you say. Here it is, a month out. I'm struggling. Sometimes I'm in 0.7, but most of my first morning readings are 0.4, 0.3. What do we say to a person like that?
It's so frustrating for me as a coach, and of course for the client when we reach these points. And unfortunately, it happens kind of often, and it's truly due to toxicity.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of things going on in their body because of what they're exposed to on a daily basis, we've cleaned up their body, right? Like we've cleaned up their nutrition, but that's only a part of it. I mean, they're still dealing with a lot of things either at work or at home, what they're putting on their skin and their hair. There's so much that goes into whole body health and why things work and why things don't. And what I see all the time is exposure to toxicity. So it has to be, we have to work on removing the toxins from the body, because that's the only way that when you can get healthy from the inside, right? When we can clean you at a cellular level, then of course, everything else is going to open up and start working. But it starts there.
Yeah, no doubt. What people don't understand is on every cell, every hormone receptor, that hormones are why people struggle to burn fat as energy, lose weight, be lean, feel good, have good energy. And when these receptors are being blocked by inflammation driven by toxins, you can't fat adapt, as we're talking about. So here you are going, okay, I'm not losing weight. I'm not even getting in ketosis, right? you actually promote true cellular detox as part of your coaching. Am I right?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. It's life-changing. I mean, health is kind of like this onion, right? And you peel it back in layers. So we can fix their nutrition, and that is definitely a big part of things. I mean, we go from the people that are either eating the standard American diet or doing what we've all done, with those 6 small meals, low fat, a lot of processed stuff. So we can start to work on that. But as we work on that part and we're peeling that layer back, we tend to find so many other issues that have been underlying for years. So for me to implement the True Cellular Detox program with my clients, that's when we see significant results from a whole body health level. So we're able to cleanse and heal them on a cellular level, and then they're able to get into ketosis. Then they're able to lose weight finally after like years and years. And it feels good for them because they're feeling so great on every single level. They're sleeping better. They don't feel like this is a struggle to eat this way. They're happily drinking water. They are just living a healthier, happier life. They're like, depression is gone. Anxiety is lessening. It's life-changing.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that say, okay, great. My numbers are above 0.5. I'm in ketosis, but I'm still not losing weight. It applies to them as well, right? So,
absolutely,
their body's still not tapping in, to its fat stores the way it should. And it is. I mean, most of the time it's ketosis. I teach something called diet variation, where we'll actually break people out of ketosis. We mentioned intermittent fasting. I talk a lot about extended fasting, and all those things help as well. But you're right. I mean, the toxicity is the number one issue that I see.
Yeah, and it's been years. It's been years of buildup.
No. Well, any last tips that you want to give our viewers and listeners in ketosis? Something that you see all the time, some mistakes maybe people make, or just some general tips that will help them?
Give this lifestyle a solid 4 weeks before you say either, it's not working or you want to do like a carb up. Right? I see that happening a lot where someone's like, oh, I did really well, Monday through Friday. So Saturday and Sunday, I'm just going to blow everything. Give this a solid effort for 4 weeks. Make sure that you're upping, you're staying steady on your electrolytes. So make sure you're adding, your salt, magnesium, potassium. Those things are very, very important. And just work on, don't worry about doing everything all at once. Just lead your meals with healthy, high quality, fatty cuts of animal protein. Serve it with a side of low carb vegetables that you like. Cover those vegetables in a beautiful, tasty, healthy fat. Drink water, and just know that you're doing this for yourself.
Yeah, no. And, yourself for your health. I mean, for me, even if you're not breaking through like you desire, losing the weight yet that you desire, it downregulates inflammation. Our bodies were meant to produce ketones, and no doubt they're extremely healthy for our cells and our brain. But Kate, thank you for being on the show. I'm telling you, Keto 101, this was a great show for people. These are the questions that they ask, by the way. And I think some other shows, folks, that would be helpful is shows about diet variation, feast, famine cycles. We've done other shows on ketosis, more of the science. This was definitely more of what you all actually wanted. So, but also we have some shows on detox, cellular detox as well. So go back and watch those. But Kate, thank you. This was a great show. I took notes. Look at my notes.
Yay! Thank you so much for having me. I've loved speaking to you today, and I hope everyone got a lot out of it today.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thanks, Kate.
Well, that's it for this week. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. All CHTV listeners can go to getketocertified.com to sign up for Kate's keto course. If you are a true cellular detox practitioner who is interested in the certification course, please email Kate at katejaramillo.com. Or if you are one of Kate's certified coaches and would like to implement true cellular detox in your practice, please email andread@revelationhealth.com for more information. You can also find the links and email addresses in our show notes. We'll be back next week and every Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern. You may also subscribe to us on iTunes or find us at podcast.drpompa.com. Thanks for listening.